Okay, so let's give you guys some practice. So this time is definite integral. So integrate this from 0 to pi over 4. So press pause and have a go. Okay, so to do this, rewrite this as secant of x. Now integrate secant of x. That will then give you this. And remember, we've done this many times. So now I'm asking you to know that when you integrate secant of x, it will give you this thing. I'm asking you to know this by heart. So integrate this. That will then give you this, and then you've got to put this into here, and this into here. That will then give you this, and then you take away, and then you put this into here, and then this into here. That will then give you this thing here. So let's start again. When you put this into the x here, secant of pi over 4. Well, pi over 4 is like 45 degrees. If it's 45 degrees, then in your mind visualize a right angle triangle where this is 1, this is 1. Well, if this is 1 and this is 1, then the hypotenuse will have no choice but to be root 2. Well, secant of pi over 4, remember our angle is pi over 4. Secant would be this thing here. Secant would be root 2 over 1. So that would be root 2. So this thing here would be root 2. And then tan, looking at this triangle, tan would be, hang on. Looking at this triangle, tan will be this thing here, which will be 1 over 1. That will then give you this. And then when you put this into here, you got to imagine the angle is 0. So the angle is 0. So the hypotenuse is 1, and because secant is hypotenuse over adjacent. The hypotenuse here, well, when you have an angle of 0, the hypotenuse would be 1. The adjacent would be 1. So this thing here would be 1. And then tan, well, tan would be the opposite. Well, when you have an angle of 0, the opposite would be 0. And then divided by the adjacent will be, when you have an angle of 0, the adjacent will be 1. So this thing here will be 0. Well, anyway, that will then take you to here. And then now 1 plus 0, well, natural log of 1 is this thing here, which is going to be 0. So this thing here would be 0. And then when it comes to this bit, negative 4, square root of 2 plus 1, that would be a positive number. So we can get rid of the absolute sign and just, this thing here is always positive, so we don't need the absolute sign. So your final answer would be this. Okay.